Welcome, everyone. We're going to get started with the meeting of the Regional Transportation Commission. Ms. Maynard.
Thank you, Chairman, members of the Commission. Your first item is to conduct your first citizen participation period.
This is the first time set aside for public comment. Anyone wishing to provide public comment with regards to any matter on today's agenda, please step forward to the microphone, state your name, spell your last name for the record, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and close the first public comment period. I'll turn it back over to Ms. Maynard.
Thanks, Chairman. Next item is to approve your agenda. It is in order and ready for your approval.
I'll entertain a motion. There's a motion on the floor to approve the agenda. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. And I'll just note for the record that Councilman Wanless is on the phone. Councilman Wanless there.
Yes, and aye.
Great.
Thanks, Chairman. The next item is to receive your Chief Executive Officer's report, your CA report, and we would like to begin today with, again, best part when we get to acknowledge some great employees and contractors. And so, first and foremost, we'd like to honor Jasia Roman. She's the lead customer service agent from CDS. CDS is our contracted call center. They do 24/7 work. They are amazing. To present this special item, we have a video from Antoinette Braddock, who's our Senior Director of our Paratransit Services.
Thank you, MJ. Today, I am honored to recognize an outstanding employee at Computer Data Services, which provides 24-hour customer care for RTC Transit Services. Lead customer service agent, Jasia Roman, consistently provides efficient, courteous support. Her average handle time is just over 2 minutes per call, allowing her to quickly solve problems and get riders on their way. She averages over 77 calls per shift, which consistently keeps her within the targeted range of 70 to 100 calls per day. And in just the last year alone, she has helped more than 16,000 people with perfect attendance at 100% calls assessment score. Jasia consistently demonstrates quality professionalism and reliability in every interaction. Her productivity and dedication make her a truly invaluable member of our team. Since she's working off-site, let's surprise her virtually with the Crystal Bus Award. Let's see it.
Jasia, I'm Antoinette Braddock. I am the Senior Director of all things paratransit here at the RTC. On behalf of our CEO and our board, we would like to virtually recognize you we call it our Crystal Bus Award, and you are certainly one of those individuals in the call center for our fixed route team. The level of customer service that you do for our customers, your very short hold time, so you can help them with what they need to do and get them back moving and onto their lives, and the number of calls that you take is incredible. But thank you. We appreciate you. And I like to say more than our appreciation, our customers really appreciate you and all the work that you do. So even though you are virtual, we still wanted to recognize you. So thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Juanita. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I be thinking like sometimes, some stuff doesn't get recognized, but you guys going out your way to do that is so nice. Thank you, guys.
Is Jasia here?
She's not.
Okay.
She's all the way across the United States,
Okay.
but she is, this is a great team. Again, many times the employees that are behind the scenes that you don't get to see, they're the ones that are making the magic happen, so really appreciate her. So we'd also like to recognize TransDev paratransit operator, Deontay Skeens. Let's watch as Antoinette presents him with the Crystal Bus Award.
Thank you, MJ. Today, I am honored to recognize paratransit operator Deontay Skeens, who has shown outstanding dedication and exceptional customer service in an extraordinary way. Deontay has worked for TransDev for over 2 years and consistently demonstrates what it means to go above and beyond. He is both an excellent driver, maintaining on-time performance pickup rate over 94%, and someone who genuinely cares about putting a smile on each customer's face every day. In fact, when Deontay realized he couldn't effectively communicate with Spanish-speaking customers, he decided to enroll in night classes and learn to speak fluent Spanish to ensure that his riders feel understood and supported. His commitment to continuous learning and exceptional customer service has also earned him a spot as one of the newest cadet instructors, where his patience and empathy truly make a difference. Deontay is a true asset to the team. Join me as we surprise Deontay with the Crystal Bus Award. I'm Antoinette Braddock. I am the Senior Director for RTC Paratransit. And on behalf of our CEO and our Board of Commissions, we are here to award you the RTC Crystal Bus Award for your great customer service for our paratransit customers. Specifically, I heard that you may have learned a new language to communicate with some of our customers. That's fantastic. That's amazing. So, on behalf of, again, our CEO, MJ Munoz-Carey, our board, I thank you. Mostly our customers, thank you for the great work that you do for our paratransit customers. For you.
Thank you so much. I just want to say thank you to the Regional Transportation Commission of Southern Nevada, my supervisors, and a big thank you to all the people that I work with today for this award. I genuinely love what I do, and I just thank you.
Is Deontay here? Okay. he's too hard at work to be here, but let's give a round of applause to both JC and Deontay.
The best. Okay, as we do every month, we're going to go ahead and provide you a transit ridership update for November. It's noteworthy, again, that we are usually 2 months behind in reporting the statistics because of the way the process works. As you can see, again, on demand continues to grow. The strip service continues to grow. We did see a decline in the residential routes, and I was explaining to Commissioner Sagerbloom that many times when we see a decline in ridership, it's due to the events that are happening or the construction that's occurring. So construction on Maryland Parkway, on Charleston, on Boulder Highway, on Lake Mead, of course, the Formula One event, and the SEMA conference. But we also want to thank not only the drivers that handle all these special events, but RTC staff, our special events and detour team. I think there were 17 Golden Knights games. There were the F1 preparation, the Raider games. They did a lot. They were on the ground ensuring that our customers are being served. So many thanks to them. You can see here, we continue to see Route 121, that's the Durango-Buffalo route. The 122, that's the Maryland Parkway, West Henderson route. The 219, the Craig route. Route 220, the Anthropical route, and again, Route 221, the Cactus Horizon Ridge Boulder City route. They continue to show marked ridership every single month. Many of those changes, when you see a positive result in the ridership growing, a lot of times that's just due to the efficiency, looking at the timing of the route. So the October service changes, where we looked at where we could improve the time of some of those routes, it's reflected in the ridership increase. Missed service, this chart represents the scheduled and missed service in November. As you can see, there was a 1% increase in missed service, but it's important to note also there was an increase in the amount of service that was provided, and that is due to all of the special events that occurred in November. And then this slide, you hear if there are vehicles available, we have to adhere to the Federal Transit Administration's 20% spare ratio. Our buses are out on the road longer than I think most systems in the US. And so the delta between the vehicles that we have at the yards versus what we need for pull out, it's a very small delta. Over the last several months, we've received comments and concerns about vehicle availability. So this slide, again, reinforces the narrow margin between the number of vehicles required to operate versus the active fleet available. I, again, want to thank the mechanics of both TransDev for paratransit and fixed route, and also RTC's fleet team, because they take it very seriously. We want to make sure those vehicles are ready to go. Here's an update on safety and security incidents from November 2025 compared to the same month last year. So passenger and driver assaults decreased from 4 in November 2024 to just 2 in November 2025. Again, one assault is too much. It's something that Tom Atterbury and his team are really focused on. Passenger and passenger assaults increased from 17 last year to 26 this year, which is obviously problematic. Removals increased from a little over 7,800 to over 16,000, really more than double. And then the trespasses also increased from 59 in November 2024 to 92. That is just again, the intentional focus of Tom and the security team to ensure they are out there. So the fact that we now have the ability to remove, difficult customers from our routes. So while it's a high number, that just means that the officers are out there doing their job. And then as we do now, we like to bring back to you the comments that you heard from the previous board meeting. And you can see here on the slide, we heard some comments about paratransit customer care. There was a comment about the fixed route RFP, ramp deployment practices, conflict management training, customer service, and transit, again, security. So on the paratransit side, we had a customer that reported her sister was denied a bathroom stop while on the paratransit bus. The paratransit drivers, because we have such a fragile population on the bus, they can't be left alone. But of course, the drivers can notify BOC whenever they need to go use a facility, and that happens. So this was just, staff reached out to her to speak to her just about that. We also heard from a rider that 4 complimentary ride coupons were owed to them, and which were provided by the Senior Director of Paratransit. So at the conclusion of the meeting, we made sure that customer received the passes that they were owed. The rider also inquired about purchasing additional monthly paratransit passes beyond the 60 ride limit, and staff worked with the rider and their personal care attendant to address that concern. So we took care of that. Again, sometimes it's low-hanging fruit when we hear from a customer. It was an easy fix because they were exactly right. On the fixed route side, a constituent raised concerns about the RFP process and transparency. You'll be receiving later on in this report a paratransit RFP presentation to you. So you'll be again, the constituent was concerned about that. We'll see the process today. You also heard comments from a transit rider on inconsistent ramp deployment on buses. As I mentioned to you last month, we're the only transit system in the U.S. with New Flyer buses that actually has 2 ramp deployments. It makes we have 2 ramp deployments, so it makes it difficult for the mechanics of the bus. And so the Transdev has reconvened additional training to understand the mechanics of the bus when it kneels, and so that was reinforced during December and January safety meetings. And then RTC Fleet and New Flyer, that's the bus manufacturer, they met with Transdev to demonstrate proper ramp deployment and reporting procedures. You also heard from operators expressing concerns about unfair termination when defending themselves on duty. As a reminder, operators are employed and managed solely by Transdev, and RTC does not make personnel decisions. Transdev, of course, takes all allegations very seriously and provides ongoing de-escalation and conflict management training, and operates, again, the staff operates under a collective bargaining agreement that includes a grievance process to ensure that they're treated fairly. You heard from an operator that they did not feel appreciated by Transdev. In response, Transdev and the ATU have implemented several employee engagement initiatives, including an employee club and a 7 Days of Cheer campaign involving employees and their families. Leadership served Thanksgiving meals, partnered with ATU for a Christmas breakfast, and hosted festive activities on Christmas Eve. RTC and Transdev continue to conduct focus groups to explore ways to improve employee satisfaction. And lastly, the Million Miler Hall of Fame ribbon cutting ceremony is planned for February. So that's something that was done for years. Each contractor had a wall. If you'd walked in the facility, it was a wall of the pictures of the drivers who had done the hard work and actually had operated over 1 million miles without any safety issues. The last contractors removed those when they left, And so Transitive is going to re-implement that recognition. On the safety and security side of the last board meeting, safety and security raised concerns about the Las Vegas ballpark stop. They were concerned about the number of unhoused folks that would congregate at that stop. And so the team has worked with the contractor to deploy security officers to this location. So there's a focus effort. When we hear from the operators that they don't feel safe at certain stops, then Tom and his team then redeploy some of the security officers to ensure that, again, today it could be the Las Vegas ballpark stop that's problematic. Tomorrow it could be another stop. So when we get the feedback, Tom and his team deploy the officers to ensure that they are focused on where the operators do not feel safe. Another operator noted that security response can be limited when incidents occur before drivers are on the bus or when security does not arrive in time. So think of at the Bonneville Transit Center, and you've got buses that are waiting for passengers to get on board. They haven't left the facility yet, but something happens either on the deck or on the vehicle itself. And so, again, it's just a matter of ensuring that the security officers know what's happening, where it's happening, and how quickly can they respond. Transit is going to continue to conduct refresher training during their upcoming, they have mandatory safety meetings to reinforce the proper use of communication tools, including the operators have at their disposal something called a PPT, or it is called a priority request to talk. They have an emergency button on the vehicle itself. And of course, they have the nano panic devices that they wear that, again, they can press and ensure that there's a timely response there. And finally, on the security front, we heard concerns that there may not be enough security officers on the system. And I think, in a perfect scenario, wish we could put a security officer in every single bus. We can't, and there's not a system in the United States that can. I think we wish we could, but that's not the way that it works. However, we now have, thanks to your leadership and your approval, we have more officers than we've ever had. And so today, Intercon, they're required to staff 298 officers to patrol 38 routes. Currently, they're exceeding the requirement with 298 full-time officers and an additional 44 flex officers, so for a total of 342 officers supporting RTC operations. Again, we understand the operators have a tough job, and the safety of both the operators and the customers is going to remain a priority. And I'm really proud of the work that Tom Atterbury and his team. I've seen marked improvement since Tom came on board at the RTC in his leadership. So again, we'll continue. That will always be a focus, whether we're here at a public comment period or not. That is going to remain a focus for the RTC. So next, I'm going to turn this over to our Deputy CEO, David Swallow. He's going to provide you with an update on the progress of our roadway funding, including fuel tax and sales tax. Dave.
Thanks, MJ. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. David Swallow, Deputy CEO for the record. First, I'd like to start by briefly highlighting the Clark County Commission's approval of the 10-year fuel revenue indexing extension on November 18th and its impact on our region's 10-year capital improvement program. Without this extension, the RTC would have been limited to approximately $1.3 billion over the next 10 years for critical roadway development and maintenance, as inflation-based fuel tax adjustments would have ended on July 1, 2026. But with this extension, you can see now that this is increased to $3 billion over the next 10 years, and providing a sustainable amount of funding. This figure reflects a conservative estimate based on our financial modeling. We do not expect annual revenue to fall below $300 million, and it could be higher depending on future conditions. We all continue to monitor revenues closely and adjust projections upward if warranted. The extension runs through 2036. However, as taxable gallons continue to decline and as vehicles become more fuel efficient or transition to hybrid or electric power, we will need to address the long-term viability of this funding source. Well, for this quarter, I'd like to begin by highlighting the projects that have been underway. Since 2014, when fuel revenue indexing was enacted, 736 projects have been started, with 545 of those completed to date. Currently, we have 89 active design projects and over 102 construction projects underway. These projects are made possible by a myriad of federal, state, and local funding sources, including grants, motor vehicle fuel tax, fuel revenue indexing, and sales tax revenues. When you look at the total dollars under contract, and these are contracts with the local jurisdictions, since 2014, we have awarded more than $3 billion in interlocal contracts. As you can see here, the funding is primarily from fuel tax, $2.6 billion, and just over $450 million in sales tax. More importantly, we need to make sure those projects are getting out and the money's being put to use. And as you can see here on the graph, shows the dollars under contract compared to the revenues, and we're right on point there in terms of the amount of revenue that we've received and the projects that have been awarded. And not only that, we've paid over $2.5 billion in invoices since these projects have been underway. So a significant investment to the community and to our labor force. And speaking of labor, you look at the total jobs that have either been directly, indirectly, or induced by this spending, it represents over 25,000 jobs to date. I want to now highlight some of the projects that completed construction this last quarter. So each project demonstrates how critical roadway funding is making a real impact on enhancing safety, improving mobility, and ensuring our valley's roads remain well maintained. The first project I'd like to highlight comes from Clark County along Jones Boulevard between the 215 and Tropicana Avenue. The project widened the roadway by adding one travel lane in each direction, built raised medians, and added dedicated left turn lanes to improve safety for motorists. Crews installed new sidewalks, ADA accessible curb ramps, and street lighting, and completed major pavement rehabilitation, updated striping and signage, and even incorporated another project for a new sewer line, coordinating that construction to avoid future conflicts along this busy corridor. The team also upgraded traffic signals and installed new fiber optic communication infrastructure to support real-time traffic management. This is critical for our FAST team at the Traffic Management Center. The project wrapped up in November 2025 with a cost of approximately $20 million. The next project I'd like to highlight is in the city of Mesquite, on Mesquite Boulevard and Sandhill Boulevard, where the first phase of a two-phase effort delivered important accessibility upgrades. The team completed improvements at more than 100 locations along Mesquite Boulevard, from Falcon Ridge Parkway to Sandhill Boulevard, and along Sandhill Boulevard from I-15 to Mesquite Boulevard. These upgrades create safer, more connected pathways for people who drive, walk, roll, and access the corridor. The project wrapped up in December with a cost of approximately $1.9 million. The next project is in the city of Las Vegas, and it was really born out of the Livable Centers study, a collaborative mobility planning effort launched by the RTC and Southern Nevada Strong in 2019 to support more vibrant, connected, and walkable communities while encouraging healthy lifestyles and improving access to jobs and services. The study identified the Deer Springs district as a key opportunity area, and this project helps set the foundation by improving connectivity and expanding safer, more accessible travel options for all users. The improvements included a new roundabout at Bradley Road and Deer Springs Way, as shown on the slide, a new traffic signal at Bradley and Elkhorn Road, and additional upgrades including median islands, ADA accessible sidewalks, storm drains, and relocating a water line, again, trying to incorporate those other items in these projects so that we can forego future conflicts. Also included new pavement marking, street lighting, and signage. The project wrapped up in October 2025 at a cost of approximately $3.5 million. This project in the city of Henderson improved traffic flow and reduced congestion along Nevada State Drive and Compassion Drive to Conestoga Way. The project widened the roadway to 2 lanes in each direction with a center turn lane and buffered bike lanes, added a new traffic signal at Conestoga Way, and upgraded signals and striping at the I-11 interchange. Near the railroad crossing, the project strengthened safety by adding clearer signage and striping to better communicate stop and yield conditions. Crews installed a new storm drain infrastructure, repaved sections of the roadway, and added new street lights where gaps existed. The team also upgraded existing lighting to the more energy-efficient LED fixtures. By expanding the sewer capacity to support future development, this project strengthens the long-term growth while improving safety, mobility, and reliability for students, residents, and businesses in the area. The project wrapped up in October at a cost of approximately $11.5 million. And finally, last but not least, we're highlighting this quarter a project coming from Boulder City, the first phase of a transformational effort on Nevada Way from Wyoming Street to Colorado Street, delivered important accessibility and utility upgrades. Project crews completed a significant amount of work in just 80 days and carefully managed construction to minimize disruption along this main corridor, which serves local businesses, community events, and the many visitors the city welcomes each year. The project wrapped up in September 2025 at a cost of approximately $2.6 million, and we do have a video on the next slide to show how this went.
Nevada Way is our historic main street here in Boulder City. It's one of the many distinguishing features of Boulder City. It's the heart of our community, the Nevada Way reconstruction project. My involvement as city manager was overseeing the Public Works Department and the teams that were working to reconstruct the roadway. This was really 3 projects in one. So for the roadway, we replaced the older pavement, and then we also were looking to extend the sidewalk so that we could preserve the outdoor dining, but also provide for access for people in wheelchairs and other disabilities. And overall, the impact on this project has been a very positive improvement for our downtown.
As the Public Works Director for the City of Boulder, and how important this project was to our downtown businesses, our residents, our accessibility group, I wanted to play a bigger part than I normally would on some projects. A lot of our residents, we have tourism that comes up here, so it was a very important project for us. Being a complete street project, we mixed in the utilities. We added accessibility walkways, longer parking for many of the trucks come through, along with meeting fire code on the roadway. And overall, it's just a really great project for us.
Yeah, city did really good. They were real informative with all the businesses, and we worked well together. It was seamless. With the diagonal parking on one side and parallel on another, it gave the feel of a wider road. Yeah, they did add some motorcycle parking right out front of our business, which is beneficial to us. We have a lot of guys who ride up in the summer. The handicap accessibility is improved, and it's very clearly marked. And yeah, it's pretty neat. It was an overall win for everyone. Appreciate the very smooth roads with no potholes.
I got involved with this project here because I belong to a group called the Romeos, really old men eating out. I saw my friends not participating. There's no place to drop off, and I got involved with this Boulder City accessibility group because this project has really made a whole big difference because people can move around and get in and out of these businesses. So I appreciate what they've done in the city and the RTC. Thank you, RTC, for helping us do this. And those partnerships are so important. And I love these intergovernmental partnerships that work so well in Southern Nevada.
The project that went on here on Main Street has been a real nice, clean, cooperative project with the businesses up here. The City Hall, Gary Poindexter, and it was a big bonus getting this done. We're going to see more and more people investing in their projects. I'm very pleased with how they worked with us as business owners.
Okay.
Mayor, great project.
Commissioner Segerblum would like to give a testimonial at this point.
Was that the older person that the?
I'm the old guy that couldn't walk across the street. Anyway, I just was telling the mayor, my family obviously grew up there in Boulder City, and about 2 or 3 weeks before Christmas, a bunch of people from one side of the family came back to Boulder City. People that grew up in the 40s and 50s and 60s, and they just were shocked at how beautiful Boulder City is. So just wanted to congratulate the mayor and congratulate RTC for what you've done, because it really has dramatically changed. If you haven't been out there, go out there, because it's fantastic, really gorgeous.
I will pay him later.
Thank you.
I'd like to give a shout out to the mayor also for the motorcycle parking being a priority. I have used it when I've gone out to Boulder City, so thank you. With that, we'll go on to the next one, which is really, in addition to the 5 projects we just highlighted, 4 more construction projects were completed this quarter, 2 by Clark County and 2 by the City of Henderson. Mesquite also completed a design project that will advance to the construction phase in the coming months. Finally, as a reminder, we'd like to keep the public informed about all the construction that's underway. It seems like every road you're on, at some point, you're going to see construction. And not all construction in the road is roadway construction. I'd put that out there. But we do try to coordinate everything in terms of providing this information on our seeingorangenv.com website. If you don't have access to the web, feel free to give us a call at 702-928-2663 or CONE, 702-928-CONE, if you want more information about these important projects. And that concludes my roadway funding update. Happy to entertain any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Swallow. Any comments or questions? No? Oh, yeah. Mr. Vice Chair.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much for the reports. I like to see, of course, as you give us the reports, how things are changing, for instance, in security-wise. But I think now, I'm sure we built up, I guess, a layer of data that to compare, not just a snapshot. Because I'm just looking back to the slide number 11, safety and security. It's nice to see the comparison of November 2024 to this year. But it's like a little bit more of that's like a snapshot. But I'm wondering if on a regular basis, it doesn't have to be every month, but maybe like on a quarterly basis, just give us a slide shot of how we're looking as a yearly trend. Because now, of course, we have enough data to compare and look at trends over the month. And I just would like to see that. Same thing with I think you're doing it well with the ridership. I guess you're already doing it with transit ridership with like a slide 7 and 8. And so maybe just like a regular one, just for us to see the trends. And if there's something that we have to do, if there's any tool that we have to give Mr. Atterbury and his team, right, it'll give us some indication of what we need to do to help them out.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Will do.
Thank you. Great. Well, with that, we'll go ahead and move on.
Okay, and that concludes your CA report. Next, we'll move on to the Nevada Department of Transportation report with Deputy Director Mario Gomez.
Thank you, MJ, and good morning, everyone. My name is Mario Gomez. I'm the Deputy Director of Operations and Maintenance for the Department of Transportation. Mine is a very brief 2-slide presentation, and so with that, I begin. So on Tuesday, December 16th, the Nevada Department of Transportation celebrated the substantial completion of the I-15 South Widening Project, a major infrastructure investment designed to increase capacity and support continued growth in Southern Nevada's South Valley and freight corridors. This $71 million project was delivered on schedule and under budget, improving I-15 between Sloan Road and Warm Springs Road and expanding capacity along one of the region's busiest commuter and freight routes. Construction began in January 2024 and reached substantial completion in December of 2025. Local and state leaders gathered for a ribbon-cutting ceremony celebrating the project completion, including State Senator for District 12, Julie Pazina, Clark County Commissioner Michael Neff, Lieutenant Governor Stavros Anthony, and Fisher Industries owner Tommy Fisher. Project highlights the strong collaboration between NDOT, local partners, and industry leaders in delivering critical transportation improvements in Southern Nevada. Some of the few project highlights that we've done in this project is we widened I-15 from 6 to 8 general purpose lanes between Sloan Road and St. Rose Parkway. We also widened I-15 from 6 to 11 general purpose lanes between St. Rose Parkway and Blue Diamond Road. We have restriped I-15 between St. Rose Parkway and Blue Diamond Road, and then we resurfaced bridges and preserved the pavement at the Blue Diamond interchange. We constructed 6 new sound walls near qualifying residential areas as well. The I-15 South Widening Project was delivered by contractor Fisher Sand and Gravel and funded through a combination of federal and state transportation dollars, with approximately 95% of the project funded by federal sources. And NDOT has completed a roadway rehabilitation project on US 95 through Searchlight, covering approximately 20 miles. This corridor is a critical route for both commuters and freight. This project began in March and was completed this last December. And work included milling and paving, adding new signage and striping, drainage structures, repairing fences, and installing tortoise fence to safeguard local wildlife. These upgrades will improve safety and extend the road's lifespan and provide a safer, more efficient travel experience. And so with that, that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gomez. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, we'll move on. Thank you.
Thanks, Chairman. The next agenda item is to approve your consent agenda, which consists of items 5 through 22, can be taken in one motion.
I'll entertain a motion. The motion to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. The next item is to approve the issuance of requests for proposals for the RFP, Fixed Route Transit RFP, and our Associate General Counsel, Patrick Caddick, who's the procurement department falls under his purview. He has been knee-deep in this process for months now. So Patrick is going to go ahead and present you the Fixed Route Services RFP.
Thank you, MJ. Good morning, members of the board. As MJ just stated, I'm Patrick Caddick. I'm Associate General Counsel for the RTC, overseeing the Purchasing and Contracts Department. I'm here today to provide you with a report regarding the procurement considerations for solicitation of the Fixed Route Transit Service contract. This presentation is going to provide an overview of the structure of the procurement, including the proposed contract term and evaluation criteria. So before issuing this RFP, we publicly shared our draft scope of services for private sector transportation companies to weigh in on. This is an industry best practice that we similarly completed before the last fixed route procurement and our most recent paratransit procurement. In doing so, we were able to receive valuable feedback from the industry on the service requirements. We specifically heard from 2 respondents comprising a total of 45 questions and comments. The most significant concern was related to the cost of insurance associated with operating transit service in Las Vegas. In response, the draft contract and price proposal were revised to allow proposers to specify an RTC contribution towards those costs, which will also be evaluated as part of the overall price proposal that I will expand on in some of the subsequent slides. So as you can see here, staff is recommending a base contract term of 4 years with 3 2-year renewal options. This would create a maximum contract term of 10 years should the RTC elect to exercise all of the options. Concerning the solicitation process itself, as we've done in the past, we will use a 2-step process for the solicitation. Step 1 is a pass-fail evaluation of the proposer's ability to meet the minimum qualifications for managing a contract of this size and complexity. This will ensure that only qualified proposers are advancing to Step 2. Step 2 includes the evaluation of the proposer's technical proposal, their pricing, and their performance in an interview and tabletop exercise. Step 1 of the solicitation process, evaluating those minimum qualifications, is going to be based on the criteria of experience with large-scale projects, contract history and references, evidence of good standing and financial information, the statements and certifications, and insurance. And again, these are minimum qualifications just to show that the people advancing to the technical proposal have handled contracts of this size and complexity. Step 2 of the solicitation process will be worth 100% of the scoring and is divided itself into 2 parts. The first component, worth 60%, includes the evaluation of the proponent's technical proposal, performance in an interview with key personnel and corporate staff, and performance in a tabletop exercise. The evaluation criteria within the technical proposal includes management structure and key personnel, corporate support and experience, their transition and startup plan, their staffing and personnel plan, workforce recruitment and retention, employee training, their service delivery plan, vehicle and equipment maintenance plan, safety, security, and emergency management program, and innovation. The pricing proposal, as shown here, will be worth 40% of the overall evaluation score, with the lowest overall price receiving the maximum number of points, and the highest overall price receiving the least points. Proposers will be asked to submit 3 separate price proposals in this instance, each based on different levels of service hours to allow the RTC flexibility to adjust service as financial and operational needs dictate. That Step 2 evaluation will be carried out by a team of RTC employees who are specifically experienced in areas closely related to the scope of the fixed route operations to allow them to bring their expertise to bear on these evaluations. And then finally, the planned timeline for this RFP. Currently, we are planning to issue Step 1 of the RFP later this month. Once we have received the proposals, evaluated them, and come to a recommendation as to the highest overall rated proposer, the plan would be to return to you with our recommendation and ask for approval to enter into negotiations with that proposer in November 2026. After that, we would obviously begin the negotiations, finalize any details in the contract, and return to you in December 2026 for actual approval of the contract itself. And then the awardee would begin operating fixed route transit service in April 2027. It's also worth noting here, following your approval today, if we receive it, we will formally be in the procurement process. Which will begin the silent period, ending upon the award of the contract currently slated here for December 2026. During this time, lobbyists and potential proposers should not be contacting staff at the RTC or its governing body regarding this RFP. All questions should be transmitted through the procurement platform NGEM or to the purchasing point of contact listed there. Today, we are asking for your approval of both the contract term and the steps 1 and 2 evaluation criteria. And as stated, if you approve today, we will proceed with releasing step 1 of the RFP later this month. On that note, thank you, and please let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you. Any comments or questions? Councilman Knudsen.
I may have missed this. I apologize. I should have asked earlier. What is the term of the contract? How long does it go for?
So it is a 4-year base term with 3 2-year options, so it would be a maximum of 10 years.
Great, thank you so much.
Mayor?
Thank you. So how does this contract or proposed contract deal with paratransits specifically in Boulder City, for instance? Are we considering the paratransits in this whole process?
So this contract is solely for the operation of fixed route services. The paratransit contract is still in effect and is currently with Transdev. So this is not concerning paratransit services. That's a separate contract.
So this will not affect adversely any of the paratransits anywhere?
No, this does not concern the provision of paratransit services.
Mayor Hardy, if I may, what will impact paratransit around the valley, including Boulder City, is if we are not successful in the legislative session of 2027 and or a ballot question in 28, that they will be removing and retracting and reducing service by about 40%, which will have a profound impact on paratransit clients throughout the valley. But that really has to do with future funding stability to ensure that we don't have to retract service, because when we retract service or eliminate routes, then those paratransit customers find themselves outside the service area.
So if I could summarize, this is a good contract for paratransit as it sits now, and pending further evaluation either on our board and or general funding from the community, as it were, our paratransit could be at risk if we don't get the funding that we have now. And that should be a red flag for all of us, for the reality of what we need to do and make sure that we take care of the people who need help.
Well said. I could not agree with you more.
I think
off my
the way that
soapbox.
the proposal is set up is so that there are 3 different levels of service for exactly that reason. Is if we have all of the money that we need, then it's this level of fixed route, which will make paratransit as broad as possible. If we don't have the money, then it's going to be a pullback on not just fixed route, but everything tied to it.
Thank you, Chairman. That's a great distinction. So more directly, the nexus between paratransit in Boulder City or throughout the valley and this particular contract is the service levels. And that's why we're, for the first time, asking proposers to submit level as it is served today, and then declining levels of service based again on the deficit. And that, in the course of the fixed route contract, the new one, would potentially impact paratransit if, again, we're not able to find a sustainable funding source going forward.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. And then my one question is, I know last time around, when we bid out the fixed route contract, one of the winning bidder then turned around and sold to one of the losing bidders for the contract. And we had some concerns about that. No offense to TransDev, but what are we including in the language to account for that kind of scenario?
So within our draft contract, we do have a provision that specifically speaks to assignment, which says that whoever we award the contract to is who actually has to perform it and carry it out. There are some limitations when you're talking about the continued existence of the same corporate entity.
Sure.
But we do still maintain that language to say we can't have one party win the RFP and then turn around and hand it over to someone else,
right,
effectively.
Great. Thank you. All right, with that, do you have a comment? Sorry.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Actually, and I really appreciate your question. I think many of us share the same sentiment here. I do have one question on the step 1, the evaluation criteria. One thing that we have here time and again, I know I would like to hear very much that the eventual employees that deliver service with our RTC, that their voice is also going to be heard in this evaluation process. Is there I'm looking at the slide there, but I don't see any specific mechanism in which our employees are drivers for the fixed route, and maybe other employees, the mechanics, that their voice will be also included. It's really important to know. We're up here as the board, but it's going to be the most valuable employees that we have isn't Barone up here. It's the guy who's actually fixing and maintaining the buses to make sure that they're moving. It's the drivers who are out there in a 60-ton vehicle with 55 souls plus, driving. I like to make sure that their voice is also included in this evaluation criteria. Is there already a mechanism, or is there still something that we can add to make sure that they are also included in this evaluation process?
Vice Chair, thank you for that. We'll have to get back to you. What we've done in the past is when we do the industry review, that the ATU leadership gets a chance to look at the scope of work, and I will confirm with staff that has occurred. If not, we'll make sure that they have a chance to take a look at that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I would say just at the very least that within the bid, it will explain what the transition would look like. The transition from Keolis to TransDiv was not seamless. Same thing on the paratransit contract last year. So I think laying it out in the bid of what the proposed bidders' contemplation of rehiring those employees, if it's not TransDev, what that looks like would be helpful.
And thank you, Chairman. Yes, so in the contract, Patrick, you could confirm, but it is strongly encouraged. The current employees are given the first right of refusal, if you will, to be gainfully employed by the new contractor.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay, and that again, if it's not TransDev, that we don't have the same situation that we had with paratransit, where there was at least statements made by the union with regards to pay that was not received, that was promised, and that we don't have similar situations going forward.
Thank you, Chairman. Duly noted.
Okay. All right, with that, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion. All right, there is a motion to approve issuance of RFP 27-001. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Board. The next item is to receive information from our legal counsel. As we have nothing to discuss with you today, we'll move on to your last agenda item, which is to conduct your final citizens' participation period.
This is the second time set aside for public comment. Anyone wishing to provide public comment with regards to any matters before the Regional Transportation Commission, please step forward to the microphone, state your name, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Morning. Nice to see everyone again. Noah Astor, NOA, ASTOR. We often speak of assaults on operators and the coaches. November, there were 6 operators assaulted in 13 days, me being one of them. Hit in the back of the head with a rock. MJ, I don't know where the number 2 came from for November. It's inaccurate. This picture is not for shock value. It's rather to put a human face to what we repeatedly address with you. What you see heals over time. What you do not see, but you hear, is my voice. It cracks, it fades in and out. A direct result of chokehold I was put into, damaging my vocal cords. There is no medical treatment for this. You may or may not see the tears in my eyes. It's out of anger and frustration, because I was no longer able to speak the way I used to. This is permanent. And it's not because of disease or aging. It's because of an attack. I hear putting a guard on every bus is not feasible. It's not the way it's done. It doesn't work that way. Make it work that way. Another issue. RTC spends an awful lot of money. Awful lot. Some things I find frivolous. The money we're spending for gates and bollards at the transit centers, unnecessary. Waste of money. That money would be better spent other places. RTC must step up and prosecute the assailants, get the media involved, push it through the courts, make a statement that this will not be allowed. And you will see this will stop. It'll take 1 or 2. While you may just see me as a driver, I assure you, I have family that depend on me to eat, friends and coworkers that care. I have emotions. I laugh, I cry, I feel pain, and I bleed. RTC lacks the ability or the wherewithal to properly protect us. Just come right out and say, we can't do it. Let us make our own decisions on how to proceed. It's only a matter of time before one of us is dead. This is fact. Out of my own curiosity, if it is me who dies driving a bus, who is it that is going to show up at my door and offer their thoughts and prayers, saying they did everything they could to make sure I was okay? Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, I'm Stephanie Davis. I'm an operator with TransDev, and I'm also the recording secretary for ATU. I wanted to address RTC today about division. We are having operators that are getting into it with each other. I brought up division to the company, but I don't think it's fair that we can keep mentioning it to the company about how the drivers are feeling amongst each other. We are not supporting each other en route. People are passing people up because of bus situations where the equipment don't work at this yard, but equipment is working at this yard, or RTC is sending out more buses over here to the south yard, and the north yard is not getting those buses the same equivalency. And I'm a witness. I came 8 years out of Sunset Yard, and we got great buses over there. Now I'm in the North Yard, and the same story is dragging on. But we're getting operators that are en route confronting each other about maybe this operator is 20 minutes down, and you got the good bus driver that got 6 people on their bus not picking up anyone or helping in the route, and now it's a conflict at the end. It is a big thing. It is a lot of division that's going on, and it's not just a company. It's not just up to the company for them to figure this situation out. Sunset Yard is the favorite yard from my experience, and a lot of operators are complaining about it. As far as safety and security, I can't agree with the numbers that's being presented. It almost seems like absences that you combine them together. 1 assault, 5 assaults equal 1 assault, and it's just not acceptable. I know that we can't get a security guard on every route, but at least can we get, on all the buses, but can we get at least 2 or 3 on the routes in rotation, jumping around? I know we got the Rovers, they're not getting there fast enough. And by the time they get to a layover, drivers are assaulted. But just a couple of concerns that I wanted to bring up for the operators and our safety. We matter, we move in the city, and without us, this wouldn't happen. That's it.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to provide public comment? If there's anybody else, please line up. If not, you will be our last speaker.
Ashley Cole, Area General Manager for TransDev, representing overseeing the fixed route contract. I came up here last time and introduced myself, gave you guys a little history about myself, but I wanted to double down on our commitment. I heard the concerns that happened today that came from our operators, and we're going to address them as we did last time. I wanted to leave some things with you guys today. We are not perfect. I think I say that at every meeting, but we're taking every initiative to make sure that we're showing up for the employees. We put on some events. Last time they said we did nothing for them for the holidays, so we made sure we did something. This time, while it is not perfect, every day we're showing up and doing what we're supposed to do. We hear them. We hear you guys, and it's our #1 dedication to make sure that we protect the safety of the customers and the employees. We're working every single day to make sure that we are protecting the service and that we're hearing them and we're working with them. So I wanted to make sure that you guys heard from us and understood that the commitment that was provided to you guys last month, we did not wait, we showed up. It wasn't perfect, there were some concerns, and we're gonna continue to work with the employees to make sure every time that we step out that we get better and better every time. So thank you guys.
Thank you. With that, we are adjourned. Thank you.